Okay, Chris has been waiting for this.
I've been waiting so long.
But I'm really hoping that everything is cooked long enough. You know, is that good enough for you, babe?
Yes,
or?
that's plenty.
There you go.
All right. Whoops.
Oh, no.
Hey,
I think Felix just got
Felix
the
is
soup.
going to enjoy that one.
No, we don't need that.
Okay.
She had so much fun with me that she had to come back and cook with me in my little kitchen.
I love this.
Because basically it is little. I mean, look at how, like,
this is
things.
great. It's perfect.
And you know what I try and tell people, though, too, about my kitchen? Even back at the farm, this is how it was. Because my arms only reach here, so it's like everything is crowded.
But it's perfect.
So, you know, but yeah. So
it.
yes, Deb is back with me cooking. We're going to really do something easy. I think it's easy.
Okay.
And you know, obviously we live in the Pacific Northwest. We're going to have some cold weather coming up.
Yes.
I mean, for us to get down to, at night, 28 degrees or whatever it is, and then here we're complaining in my state, in Michigan, in my home state, they're below 0 or like 10 degrees. And Minnesota and North Dakota, they're like negative 20.
I couldn't do that at all.
Well, I think it's only, I mean, it's not like weeks at all, like maybe Alaska.
But still, it's cold.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy cold.
So I thought it'd be kind of cool to do what I am calling hamburger soup, or I could call it ground steak. Or because I'm using 90-20 beef. Because you don't want all of that like grease and the fat.
True.
You just really want it hearty.
Yeah.
But this can also be less expensive than, you know, chopping up steak. And the thing is, you can make this so your own. Like I was going to put corn in here. I'm not going to put corn in here because Chris doesn't like corn. Okay. So that's okay. But if someone else wants to put corn, great. Put corn. So you can
change it up.
Yeah, you can change it up.
Okay.
And I call this kind of similar to like minestrone soup, but minestrone soup, at least I do, I put beans in mine, you know, because you just, it's all vegetable and stuff. So this is really vegetable with ground beef. So it's ground beef vegetable soup. But I want bacon in mine as well, because that'll add some flavor to it. And so this is what we're doing. So we are doing hamburger vegetable soup, or ground beef vegetable soup, whatever you want to call it. I kind of like, I like names. I made lemon bars with Jacob and Isabel yesterday on Zoom, but I called them sunshine lemon bars because that's what they remind me of.
I love that.
They remind me of bringing in that brightness, that tart lemon with a little bit of sweetness and sunshine. And we're in the middle of winter.
Well, we need a little sunshine then.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So anyway, next time though, I want you, if there is a next time, if you still want to do it with me, you bring me a recipe, or maybe we'll do your coffee cake.
Can we?
Or
I would love that.
Down.
Sorry, Felix.
Felix is joining us as well.
He loves us. He loves me. Just kidding.
In fact, you know what I'll probably do before we get started? I'm going to feed him.
Okay.
Not that that's going to prevent him from being all around us, because he, you know, smells the smells of bacon and everything. And if I was actually cooking food for people,
sweet boy.
He wouldn't be allowed.
I know, he's such a
Felix,
love.
down. No. And so anyway, I'm going to go feed him.
All right.
Hi, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you are enjoying it. And I would really appreciate it if you liked it and subscribed to it. And don't forget to click that little bell up there, and you'll be notified of future videos that are new and coming on my YouTube channel. So thank you so much for that. And I would really appreciate it if you shared the video and let other people know, and encourage them to subscribe and like the videos as well. So anyway, thank you, and back to the video. Okay, so next time, Deb, when you come over, we're going to make
coffee cake.
Yeah, coffee cake. I would really like to do that.
I would love that. Okay.
Because I like to I like to bake with someone who, maybe not, because you don't do it often, do you?
I do a lot with yeast and dough, but
Yeah.
I don't do the coffee cake often. No,
But I mean,
do
do you do it once
a year?
No, but the yeast, once a week? Once a month?
Maybe twice
Okay.
a month, maybe.
Okay, so you're definitely, well, you're definitely a lot more familiar with it than me.
Yeast
So,
is easy if you get the hang of it.
well, I use the thermometer and...
I don't. Gosh, no.
Well, I want to make sure my water's warm enough.
No, I use my finger under the faucet.
I don't trust that.
Feel the heat from that. Put it in a little container. Put my yeast in there, and that's it.
Okay, people, when it comes to yeast, I use a thermometer, and I want to make sure that that is 110 degrees.
I don't.
Oh boy. Okay,
I'll
we'll
show
do
her.
it.
We'll do it.
Listen,
Okay.
I want to deepen here, so I'm gonna slice up the bacon.
Okay.
If you could do these in not little tiny chunks, but
Like cubes?
yeah, like cubes.
Okay.
And I'm using like gold or Yukon potatoes because I think they hold up better
Okay.
than russet.
Okay.
And also, you don't have to necessarily peel the skin.
Awesome.
But if you want to like get this little
I
thing
never
out,
peel the
you know.
skin.
Well, in a russet potato, I do because when you cook the potato, I think it shrinks. Like when you bake a potato, it shrinks and you can peel it
Is that
better.
okay, or do you want it more cubed?
No, that's fine. But maybe sorry, but just bigger chunks
Okay. You got
because
it.
this way
Take longer to cook.
this is more heartier.
Okay. Hearty it is, girlfriend.
Sorry, that's my
We
preference.
got the heartiness going on here.
And this bacon will really add a flavor to it. And this is what we're going to cook the vegetables in and the ground beef. So that way it's not just bacon in the soup, but you're
Nice.
incorporating all of it.
So
Within this
Chris is a potatoes man, right though?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Okay, that's good to know.
I think Chris would have a baked potato at every meal. Right, babe?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
Deb and I have to be careful what we say because Chris is over there in the great room working. So, no, I don't have to be careful what I say. Chris is good. Oh, he gave me flowers.
Oh,
Yeah, they're on the table as you walk in here. Yeah, he gave me flowers.
am I cutting up all these
Yeah,
potatoes?
here, cut up this,
Perfect.
this.
Perfect.
And I want mushrooms.
So why
because
did
I'm
he-
not doing corn, I want mushrooms.
Why did he give you flowers?
Because. Just because.
Wow. Good job, Chris.
And it's a week before Valentine's Day, so I might get another set of flowers too.
What?
Isn't that going to be wonderful? Now, the thing I look forward to on Valentine's Day or birthdays and stuff like that is a card.
That's right.
I'm a fan of cards.
Cards are important. Words are important.
But I tell him no, because I think he thought he would get off easy by just doing a card. I said, a card is great because you took the time to pick that card out, but I want you to write something in it. Whether it be a sentence or two, not just love Chris or whatever.
He's like, man,
Write
now
something.
you're asking for a lot.
I'm making him work. But it's just, just having that handwritten just note and knowing that, the person picked out that card, they
Yes.
read the words and, writing something extra special in there. I don't know. That just, to me, that's a gift.
I've noticed just in the last couple of weeks that I've gone to look for cards, I've found more messages that really feel like they're coming from my heart.
Yeah.
Like people, they're getting very creative with their cards lately, and I love that. All right, girlfriend.
And I think, a text message and all that other stuff or e-cards, that may be the convenient way.
Do you want me to cut?
Oh, yeah,
Some carrots?
yeah.
Just-
We'll dice it. You know what? Let me get a bowl here.
Okay.
Let's put those in here because we're going to cook those separately, kind of.
Ooh, this
And
is
what
gonna
I'll
be
do with the
warm.
potatoes too, this may feel like a lot of prep in the beginning, but I tell you, as your soup kind of gets all the flavors together, you know, when you know, have it on the stove top for,
Right.
in fact, that might, an hour, 2 hours, whatever.
Do you want these on an angle or do you want them straight down?
Well, what we'll do here is I want them just like
Okay.
that too.
Okay. Copy.
I
Copy.
guess I did skin that. I didn't exactly skin it,
It's
but I
fine.
did wash it.
I don't skin my vegetables. Isn't that crazy?
No,
well,
it's
I do
not.
onions, but I just keep it all. I wash them and that's it.
Yeah. Well, because those are nutrients that we're getting rid of, and
Yeah.
you know. So anyway, this may feel like a lot of prep, but I don't know. To me, it's worth it. And I suppose you could probably even do this in a crock pot.
Okay.
I don't utilize my crock pot as much. Tell you the truth, I think I probably would have utilized it if I worked like a 9-to-5
Yes.
job.
Yes. So if you were to use a crock pot, you'd put it all together the night before?
No, you could put it all together
In
you
the
know, that
morning?
morning, and
Okay.
I'd put it on low.
Okay.
Personally, I don't like, unless it's like beef, I'd probably brown my bacon and my meat.
I wouldn't put it in.
first.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
You
I
know.
would do the same thing. I am a big crock pot fan, so.
Well, what do you like cooking in a crock pot?
Oh my gosh, my latest thing was a roast.
Yeah.
So I took the roast, I let it sit to room temperature. I put garlic olive oil on top of it and I seared it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sprinkled a seasoning, like
Yeah.
a dressing seasoning, powdered seasoning, over the top, a ranch type thing. And once I seared that, I put it in the crock pot, poured a jar of pepperoni,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
and then a cube of butter.
Okay.
Let it cook all day long. And it was amazing. So kind of like comfort food like you're
Yeah.
talking about for the cold days.
Do you want a better knife?
Yeah, I'd like one. This one's a little...
A little wimpy?
Do you want the carrots in with the potatoes? In the same bowl? Bless you.
Excuse me. No.
Okay.
Here you go.
Ooh, you
Got a better
trust
one?
me with this.
Let me get another
Oh my
bowl.
goodness, that's so much easier. Holy knife.
I guess it would help if I gave Deb the right tools. So my bacon is cooking. I will scoop the bacon out, but leave the grease or whatever in there. And then we're gonna go ahead and saute our carrots, our onions, and our celery. I've got about 4 carrots here. You can add less if you want. I only have half of an onion because sometimes I think onions can be powerful. And I don't want an onion soup, but you want enough to create that flavor, build your stock up. So I've got a half an onion here, and then I think I have 2 celery stalks here. Here we used, I think, 5, maybe 6
Potatoes.
Yukon or yellow white potatoes. And then I have, I don't know how many mushrooms I had in here. Probably 5, 6 or whatever. And I'm gonna save the mushrooms. I'll do the mushrooms after I do the veggies because I don't want it to soak up all of the grease. And mushrooms absorb. They also release water, but they also absorb it all.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
So if you add salt in the very beginning of cooking mushrooms,
Right?
basically you're almost steaming them because it's drawing out the water of them.
Okay.
And so if you want kind of like brown mushrooms, just like just a little bit of olive oil, maybe just a little bit of butter,
Okay.
less than a tablespoon, half a tablespoon or whatever, and just to brown it. But other than that, just
All right.
brown them on their own.
Good to know.
Okay, I'm gonna get some paper towels and my bacon here.
Smells good. Is this for the carrots, this bowl? This
Well, I
yellow?
guess I should put on the fan. I always forget that when I do videos because you can't really hear.
What? I can't hear you.
I know, see?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, but it's too much noise. I just won't cook it on high.
This looks colorful. And it's gonna have all these fun.
Well, you know what? I'm really
textures.
hoping it tastes as well as when I first made it for Chris and I, like a month ago or something.
Yes.
I don't know. I just really liked it, and I'm like, why do I like this so much? What is so different about this? And I don't know if it's because it's the ground beef and the seasonings you use.
It's hearty.
I like herbs.
Yeah.
And
well, and you're good with your herbs. I'm learning to do that. I mean, the last time we cooked, the 2 different herbs you used were like, oh my gosh, I've never cooked with those before.
well, I think the one thing I gotta do is really, I should have paid attention to my potted herbs out there. But have some in the kitchen because I really like fresh herbs. But
pull from.
buying them from the grocery store, they're expensive.
And they don't last as long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, oh, this is what I wanted to do on another video. Okay, silly me. You know how you just get into habits of cooking and the way you do things? When you buy basil, where are you
Yes.
buying basil in the grocery store? Just in the vegetable department.
Exactly. Yeah.
Usually they're in the cold part, you know, if you get it in the package, but the bigger
Right.
packages are around the avocado, the tomatoes, the
Right.
garlic, or whatever. Well, of course, it's in the package. I stick that in the refrigerator. Well, basil doesn't like cold.
Well, you're
So-
right.
This basil that I have over here, in fact, we're going to probably add some of it in the soup. I bought this like a week ago.
And it's not gone in the fridge.
No,
And it's fresh.
it's still like good.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, duh, Amy.
I did
So
not
when
know
you-
that.
I didn't either. But I've been cooking you've been cooking for so long too.
And I put
mean,
my
we're just-
basil in the fridge.
Yeah, we're just home cooks.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm thinking that was such a hot tip. I don't know who I was
The
watching.
thing is, you didn't even find it in the cold section. That's
Yeah.
should have been, for me, a clue not to put it in the fridge.
So I don't put my basil
I love
in
it.
there.
I
and
love
then
that.
when you buy the planted ones or anything, just put them in a cup of water.
Yes.
So anyway.
Did you want this last carrot cut up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha,
yes,
gotcha.
we're going to do that. Okay, I've got my grease still on. Yes, still heated. So I am going to go ahead and add the carrots.
Uh-oh. Carrot down.
Or just
We'll just not use
wash
that
it.
one.
No,
Okay. Usually a dog will eat that, but I don't think
No, it's
he's
too.
into carrots.
Yeah, we'll do the carrots
Okay.
first a little bit, and then I'll add that because carrots are, you know, obviously tougher, and I think it'll take a
Yeah.
little longer.
Okay.
Just to Now sometimes over the crock pot, you just add the carrots. I like sautéing them because you can bring out some of their flavor when you do that instead of
I do.
still having the rawness.
Yep.
You know of them?
I love that. So you're just using your bacon grease.
Yeah, I'm just using my
Sauté-
bacon
Okay.
grease. I'm just gonna add in a little bit of pepper. Oh, do you want to cut up some garlic? I'll get
Yes.
some garlic.
Yes.
I forgot about the garlic. And I'll just add just a little bit of salt because
Okay.
the bacon grease, you know,
Salt
bacon
enough.
has
Perfect.
the salt in it. But I'll do
You know,
that.
it already smells good.
I know, doesn't it?
It just feels
So we're just
real.
gonna saute that for a little bit, and I'm gonna go get garlic because who doesn't love garlic?
Deb and I are going to be cooking at the stove here. I know you really can't see us, but
I just want to show you. This is how I like my mushrooms, and this is what happens when you do not add salt to it. But see how
nice.
brown and they're kind of brown, so much more of the flavor of the
That looks
mushrooms
good.
that come out. So that's how I like my mushrooms.
do you need garlic yet?
And, oh yeah, I was going to add a little garlic, wasn't I? I'll add just a little bit of garlic in here because I forgot to add it to the vegetables, but that's okay. So the mushrooms are pretty much done, and you definitely don't want to burn garlic. So I'll be ready to get these out. And I think this is on high, yeah. I'm just going to set that in a little bit. Where's my bowl? Here's one. And it's amazing how quickly the mushrooms cook down. So now I'm going to add in my beef. Because I've got 90-10 beef, I do want to add a little bit of oil to it. And you want to make sure you don't cook it too long because it's 90-10 beef. Doesn't have a lot of fat. And it will continue to cook in the soup. Now usually this will call for a pound, but I'm going to add 2. Thank you, Deb. And Deb is over there sauteing. In fact, did we add some salt in there? Can you add a little bit of salt because my hands were touching the meat? Yeah.
Good enough?
Just a little more. Yeah. The potatoes absorb salt, but they do need a lot. All right, we're cooking away, people. I got 1 package of beef. It's about a pound. I'm going to add another one. That's about 2 pounds. Let me make sure. I think it is. I'll verify later. Okay, we're just going to get a spoon and add a little bit of salt. So you definitely want to flavor your meat. All right, we'll be back. We're gonna cook up the meat and finish up the potatoes, and then we're gonna kind of combine all this together.
Here, get down lower
and
so they can see
make
you.
it friends. Okay, so my meat is done. I put in the garlic, kind of give the meat that little extra flavor. I'm gonna add some Worcestershire sauce, a little bit here. I don't know, maybe a tablespoon or something. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in my bacon. Make sure all of these get stirred in. I'm going to add in my mushrooms, my carrots, onions, and celery. And of course, why I added 2 pounds of beef, I'm not sure, because it's only Chris and I, so I'm going to convince Deb, you helped me, so guess what? You're going to take some of this home.
I'm glad you did.
But we're going to have a lot of soup. I just want to make sure. I'm going to get a different spoon. Just want to make sure that this is. Yeah, I only needed 1 thing of meat.
Yeah, but I'm a meat person, so
I know,
it's
so
like,
is Chris.
we'll both enjoy.
What I'm worried about is I hope I have a big enough pot. Okay, can you.
Potatoes?
Yeah, put the potatoes in. Now, this is a step you necessarily don't need, but I like, doing this because I think it gives this whole soup that extra flavor by just sauteing your potatoes a little bit. They don't have to be all the way done, but just a little bit.
Oh, it looks so good.
Oh, I definitely made a lot.
It's gonna be perfect.
I might have to tell you to adjust some of the proportions. I'm gonna add in a can of fire roasted tomatoes. Again, it's all about the flavor, and I think these have a little bit more. Then I'm gonna add in at least 1 box of beef broth. I get low sodium. And 1 box is about 4 cups. I think so. I think it's about 4 cups. And depending on how much, thank you, Deb. Depending on how much you make,
Oh, that looks so good.
will depend on if you need another box. And frankly, I've got a whole lot of food in here. I think I might need just a little bit, and it's gonna go all the way up to the top.
Do you want me to grab the other one?
Can you grab me the seasonings? Yeah, I'll grab some of the seasoning. And I think we put in like, I think I put in, some of the cloves were small, so I maybe put in like 6 cloves of garlic because I love garlic.
Yes.
So I'm going to do a little bit of oregano because I don't have fresh oregano. And it looks like this is a new jar, so it's going to be fresh all around. So I'm using dried oregano. Okay. There we go. And there are some herbs and spices that you really use a lot, but it is a good thing to check your pantry and your herb rack of those that have expired or close to expire, because they definitely.
I don't pay attention to that. I should.
Well, sometimes I forget too.
Yeah.
Because I think they lose their flavor. So because I have so much in here, I'm doing probably at least a tablespoon of oregano, or at least one big heaping teaspoon. I'm gonna put a bay leaf in there because this is gonna be sitting for a while.
And then do you fish that out before
Yes.
you serve? Okay.
If I can find it. And I think because I'm using, I guess, good, can you hand me the other beef
You
broth?
got it.
And since I'm, what I consider good beef, because it's 90-10, you know, so you're getting it, you know, you're basically grinding up a steak. I'm gonna add a little bit of rosemary to it too.
You
I
want
can
help?
never.
The lids have a mind of their own. Oh my gosh, that looks so good.
And I would recommend, you know, having this cook on simmer at least an hour. I would say almost 2. Now that you've got all your flavors and all of this, and I definitely hope it's gonna taste as good as
That looks
it did when I made it for Chris and I.
amazing.
And you know what I do to this too? I usually, okay, what's my scoop? What's my scoop of soup gonna look like? Does it have all the extra vegetables I want in it? And we're gonna add green beans to this, but because they're frozen, I'm only gonna add it maybe 20 minutes before I serve. So again, the green beans don't become all mushy.
Mushy.
Can you use canned? Yeah, I guess so, but
They're
I
already
think
mushy.
I think fresh, or I think frozen are just parboiled or blanched fresh, you know, green beans. So anyway,
Awesome.
and what I'm gonna do now is just, you know, initially just take a. Oh yeah,
Good.
I think that's pretty good. Here, you taste. I mean, it's still got to, you know, cook the flavors in, but I think it's good. I wouldn't add any more salt.
Oh my gosh. That's
Isn't that
perfect.
good?
That's really good.
And me personally, I think it helps when you,
Wow.
and I think most people do, especially the carrots, onions, and celery, but I love it that the potatoes were kind of cooked separately.
Yes.
It gives kind of that brown flavor instead of just boiled potatoes.
This is what I call comfort food
Oh,
on
yeah.
a cold day.
This would go great with if you wanted a nice salad, or definitely try and get a good crusty bread.
Yeah.
And that's why I think 90-10 ground beef is good, because that has a different flavor than your 80-20 or something like that. So anyway, where's my lid? Is my
I
lid
got
over
your
there?
lid right here, girlfriend.
We're just gonna start this up again because I thought it was going. I'm gonna bring this up to like a really low boil and then definitely have it simmer for a while. Phew, we've got soup going on. So, you know, I mean, it's probably just like maybe a half hour, 45-minute prep. You know, I mean, you could have a saute pan going, which we did in order for time to do the potatoes, but it's a one pot.
Right.
You know, saute your onions and carrots and celery in it. And I love that I use bacon, because that bacon flavor is now incorporated with a
love
lot of
that.
different elements.
Yes.
And so it's there. You see it? It's right over there. It's simmering. I can't wait to have some.
I can't wait.
Okay, good. So Deb and I are in Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, and guess what? You can find this recipe and this video over at amyroloffslittlekitchen.com, or go to my YouTube channel, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. I'd love it if you guys subscribe to that as well. And that's really where I'm housing all the recipes and videos. So not only this, but all of the others. And I would so appreciate it if you followed me on social media as well. So anyway, I hope you make the soup. It's a good comfort. Yeah, it's a good comfort soup. And I would make this anytime.
Yeah.
Especially even on a cold spring day. A summer thunderstorm, which we don't get here,
Yes.
but I imagine myself in Michigan on a summer thunderstorm. But anyway,
Oh, it's a soupy fun.
ground beef vegetable soup, amyroloffslittlekitchen.com. So thanks, Deb.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
friend.
Oh, I love this.
Yay! Okay, Deb is helping me do the dishes over there because we're gonna be making a really fun dessert that we've never done before. But one thing I forgot that I wanted to put in with this soup is probably about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. That again will build up that flavor and create a little bit of thickness, but that rich, beefy tomato broth to it as well. So, I got some leftover tomato paste from the other night. Pretty much gonna use all of this. So I'm using really 2 big heaping tablespoons. And again, I think that'll add a lot of broth. So yes, sometimes I forget what I'm doing, or I'm trying to think of all the recipe or all the ingredients by heart. So I'm just gonna kind of blend that in a little bit. And that'll enhance the fire roasted tomatoes too.
I love the colors.
Yeah, because when I was looking at the soup, I'm like, wait a minute, I remember it differently. So, tomato paste, it does wonders. And because I use tomato paste often in some of my stuff, I know they've got the tube tomato paste, but I just go ahead and buy the little can. There we go. Used it all. Thanks, Deb.
Good job.
Here we go. Thank you. So we're back to having this cook a little bit. And by the time we're ready to eat it, I think it'll be all set to go. Hey, well, hi Deb.
Hi.
We're not really back. She hasn't left, but we're on to the next recipe because I have not made chocolate lava cake, I don't think ever. Did you?
Never.
And if I did, it must not turned out well because I have not made it since.
What made you want to do it this time?
You know, I was watching like the Food Network and some other people, and you know, it's Valentine's Day coming up, and though I'm making something that Chris isn't even gonna want because he doesn't like chocolate in this way.
Really?
He'll eat like a chocolate brownie or dark chocolate candy, but for some reason, something about the cake thing. So it might be a texture thing. So guess what? Am I going to be eating 4 chocolate lava? No, you are taking one.
I'll take one.
So as I mentioned in a ground beef vegetable soup, I went online and looked at a lot of different recipes just to see, is this something that you really got to be like, these are the main things and this is the quantity. And it was slightly all over the place. Some of them use more flour, less eggs, more eggs, less flour, less sugar, more sugar.
Okay.
Anywhere from 2 ounces of chocolate, and that's probably just for a couple of people, to 6 to 8 ounces of chocolate. So I'm like, okay, I'm taking a little bit from all those recipes.
Go in the middle.
And we're gonna see how this turns out. So in here, what I'd like you to do, and here's another bowl to put the egg whites in.
Okay.
But I need 3 whole eggs and 3 egg yolks.
Okay.
Okay.
3 whole eggs. So I'm putting 3 whole eggs.
3 whole eggs in here. Then you're gonna crack an egg like this. You know how to
do
do
my
this.
egg white.
Yeah.
But where am I gonna put the yolk?
What do you mean? Where are you gonna put the yolk?
Well, you're just doing the egg whites.
No, I need the yolk.
Oh, you need the yolk here.
Yeah. See?
That's not. You're not yoking with me, are you?
And in the meantime, I am going to chop up this chocolate. I've got 4 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. Just use a good brand, whatever brand you prefer. Tell you the truth, it depends on what grocery store you're at, what kind of brand they have. I have found that some of these grocery stores are changing. And I'm like, what?
Varieties. They're not giving you all the varieties.
They're not.
I know.
They're all going with their store brand, which...
It's making it hard for me.
Yeah.
Because certain things I've always loved, and it's...
Well, I also know some of the store brands is the same as the name brand ones, but still. I'm like, what?
All right, so I have 3 yolks.
Yep. 3 yolks, okay.
3 whites. We've got 3 eggs left. So those...
Wait a minute, this is only 2 yolks. You need 3.
Oh, I did
Wait a
3.
minute.
One's cracked. That's why it looks like
Okay, yes, and then 3 regular yolks. Yes, correct. Oh my gosh, you scared me.
3 regular yolks or
3 regular, 3 yolks, 3 eggs.
okay.
So you need the
The
complete egg.
whole egg goes in
Yes.
there. Okay. Sorry, I'm learning. I'm listening. I got this.
I might not explain it well.
No, you did.
So I'm going to use 4 ounces of bittersweet, and then I'm going to use 2 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. And I'm going to melt the chocolate in a double boiler.
Now, are these eggs room temperature?
Yes, they're room temperature. And the reason you want them room temperature, because anything else you mix with them impacts that.
Okay.
So if you got warm butter, but you got a cold egg, then your butter
Oh,
becomes chunky.
good to know.
Because the cold egg now made it, what is it? Kind of helped it made it
Yeah.
solid. I know there's a word for it, but
And
it
I know I do
didn't.
that
It didn't
with
come to my
My
mind.
coffee cakes too. Okay, so now that I've got that done, do you need me to do anything?
Well, the other thing for this recipe too is that we're melting chocolate.
Okay.
So this is going to be a little warm and hot.
All right,
So we're going to slowly add the chocolate. So what you're doing is tempering
perfect.
the eggs before you dump the whole thing in there. Whoops.
I got it. Pick that up.
See, sometimes the cutting board is so close to the edge because my arms aren't long enough to reach for it. So we'll just add a little piece of semi-sweet, the same size of the one that fell to the ground. I know my soup is taken up. Deb and I made soup a little bit earlier today, so it's sitting over there. It's taking a little bit longer, and it kind of makes me happy that Chris is kind of anxious to eat and have it. So
you're
I'm just going to
cooking,
add
everybody
this
wants.
here. Well, most of the time.
No,
I made this spice bun cake, and I'm like, I got to figure it out. What did I do wrong? It was a little dry for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm thinking I might have cooked it too long. So I'm gonna make it again.
Nice.
Okay, just 2 ounces of this. I'm gonna get this in my double boiler. Be patient with the double boiler when you're melting chocolate. Don't rush it, because you want the chocolate to really be that smooth, consistency and not grainy from the cocoa solids.
Now, is it if you overcook it, it goes grainy? Possibly?
It may not go grainy, but then it loses its structure and
Okay.
everything. And then it kind of dries out because you've evaporated it.
Never used a double boiler, so.
Well, I like this better than a microwave, to tell you the truth. I have more control over a double boiler.
Yeah.
Okay, double boiler time. I'm gonna melt the butter and the chocolate all at the same time. And I've sliced up how many tablespoons? I think half a cup, 8 ounces. So 8 tablespoons. We're gonna get that in here. And you just want the water to be simmering,
Okay.
not rapid boiling. And,
You've created your own double boiler.
yeah, I created my own double boiler because all you really need is a pot of water and something sitting on top.
Okay.
Because you can go out and get a
Because
double
I don't
boiler.
have one, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't have one either, and I'm not sure if I'd use it a lot. I don't need more equipment
Yeah.
because I don't know where people keep all their equipment.
Well, I don't need to add more pots and pans, so that's a
well,
great
everyone's
idea.
got an instant pot, a fryer,
No.
a toaster oven,
Too many
food
things.
processor,
So it's good to
blender.
know that you can create your own double
Yeah.
boiler there.
Okay, what I'd like you to do
All right.
here is whip this up a little
You
bit.
got it? On low.
Yeah, and low. Yeah, just here, just press this button. No, wait. How do I do this again? Oh yeah. It's a new hand mixer, people. Yeah, I would just say, just so they're blended. Like break up the egg yolks, yep. So while she's doing that, I'm waiting for the double boiler, and then we're gonna add in the sugar. And I've got 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. Where's my spoon?
Where's your spoon? I don't know. I probably washed it and put it away.
Yes, you probably did.
Is that good?
Okay, Chris has been waiting for this.
I've been waiting so long.
But I'm really hoping that everything is cooked long enough. You know, is that good enough for you, babe?
Yes,
Or-
that's plenty.
There you go.
All right. Whoops.
Oh, no.
Hey,
I think Felix just got
Felix
the
is
soup.
going to enjoy that one.
No, we don't need that.
Okay.
Okay, Deb, sorry, but we're last on the soup because I
Chris
had to.
already got
Yeah,
his.
Chris already got his bowl. He was hungry. Well, then again, that makes me happy.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
that he likes most of the food, if not all of the food that I make. And, you know, and Chris is not shy about giving me critiquing or giving me ideas or something I change, which I really appreciate that. Because, you know, I wing it so much, but when I'm doing a recipe,
Right.
it's like, okay, is this really how much I add?
Yeah.
You know, certain things, or is it a teaspoon of salt? Is it a 1/2 teaspoon? Because I'm just so used to, yeah, this is it. The salt, yep.
Yep.
That's it.
Well, and some
anyway.
people's taste buds are different
Yeah,
too, so it
yeah.
helps when
So
you know.
I want to know what you think.
Okay.
So the soup is done. We're ready to eat, and I cannot wait.
I can't wait.
Okay, there you go, Dad. Can you hand me my bowl?
Yes. There you go.
And I think what I would do with the soup to garnish it is maybe, you know, cut up or chiffonade some basil.
Chiffonade, yes.
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. But cut up some basil and sprinkle a little bit of that on. So yeah, look at the steam. Can you guys see the steam?
Are we ready for
If
this?
I do this or do that, I
Let's
don't
see.
know. It's hot,
Let's see.
so
Okay.
definitely hot. This is what I call good comfort food.
So good. Oh, I love it. I can hear Chris over there scraping his bowl clean.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would do to this is probably add just a hint more salt, but a little more herb seasonings to this. And to give it a little bit more richness, I would probably, Chris gave me the suggestion of adding a little more tomato paste, and I agree. With the quantity that I made here, I would probably add the whole can, but I just went ahead and used 1/2 can that I had in the fridge. But yeah, I would, but I love the bacon. I think the bacon, it was applewood smoked bacon.
Oh.
And I think I can just taste a little hint of some
Just
of
enough
that
bacon in there.
flavor in it.
So good. Oh,
Anyway,
love it.
I think it's a hit.
Oh, yay.
So again, for this soup, ground beef hamburger soup. Oh no, I'm just gonna call it ground beef vegetable soup. Ground beef vegetable soup. You can find it at amyroloffslittlekitchen.com or on my YouTube channel at Amy Roloff Little Kitchen. And so I appreciate it if you guys go there, subscribe, or let me know what you think. But I am so appreciative, not only for Deb joining me in my little kitchen, but you guys as well. So thank you, and have a great day. If you want to create that little spark to this, I would just add maybe, I'm going to say a tablespoon, but that may be too much. How about a teaspoon of lemon zest and about a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice? That'll kind of really give it that spark. But this is my version of Hi, we're in Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, and today I am going to make a jambalaya, my version of it. I add a little bit of extra stuff, but I think the main thing about jambalaya is kind of some of the main ingredients, such as chicken, shrimp, like a chorizo, or a spicy sausage, or even a kielbasa, you know, that you can slice up, and the tomato, the broth. But I think one of the main ingredients of jambalaya that makes jambalaya is the rice, the tomato sauce, or the tomatoes and the juice, but the spice. You can use it Cajun, you can use it Creole. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time pronouncing some of these words. It's terrible. I practice and here I mess it all up on you. Anyway, so that's what I'm gonna make today. It feels like a lot of prep, but I tell you, it is so, so good. It's been a long time since I've made this. In about 3 days, Chris and I are going to take a motorcycle trip with a few friends, and we'll be gone about 5-7 days. So I thought this would be a great thing to make. We'll have some tonight. We can have some for leftovers tomorrow, and then maybe we'll just make something really simple the next day before we all take off. Anyway, so we're gonna make jambalaya. I went ahead and cut up all the vegetables because I don't know, I just think it's kind of boring for y'all to see me cutting up stuff. But I am putting carrots in mine. Typically that may not call for carrots, but I'm gonna put carrots in it. I cut up some celery. I cut up 1 whole onion. I cut up about 3 celery stalks. These were small carrots, so I did at least 4 of these. About 1 green pepper, small green pepper. This was kind of large, so I only did half of it. 1 red pepper. So I've got all of this in there, my green pepper and red pepper in there. You can't see the onions because I cut that up first, but I got my carrots, celery, and onions in this. I cut up some garlic, and where is it? I made 2 different versions of like a Creole spice, my own spices. I combined my own spices, cumin, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, salt, pepper. I'll have to, you know what? Follow the recipe. If you want to make your own, I'll put it on there as well. But go to amyroloffslittlekitchen.com and you'll find the recipe for what I have in here. On one of them, I put in smoked paprika. I love smoked paprika. It's got more of a subtle smoke flavor. You can use the liquid smoke flavor if you want kind of a smoky flavor. That's up to you. Do what you want. Then I've got a can, at least 1 can of diced tomatoes. I'm using fire roasted diced tomatoes. Now for the heat, there'll be Worcester sauce in here. You can use hot sauce and put that in here. Cayenne pepper if you want it more. So those are, especially the hot sauce and the cayenne pepper, or you can even add a jalapeno. It really depends on what your heat level is and what you want. I like a little heat, but I don't like a lot of heat where my tongue is turning, you know, numb and I can't taste any of the food. And then I have about 3 cups, about a little over 3 cups of broth over here. And then I have about 1.5 cups of rice here. What I'm putting in there is chicken. I got my chicken cut up here. I thought for sure I bought chorizo sausage, like the heat sausage, or hot Italian sausage, but obviously I can't find it anywhere. So what I'm gonna do with this ground up pork, I am gonna douse it with some of this. Add a little bit of thyme, add a little bit of oregano to give this sausage or this ground up pork some flavor, some things to mix in it so it gives it some flavor. I've got shrimp. My shrimp is still in the refrigerator, and then I'm also gonna put in chopped up cod. Shrimp and cod. I'm gonna saute the shrimp just a little bit, but the cod will just go in the mixture and cook with the rice and the tomato, cut up diced tomatoes and the juice and the broth. So anyway, just wanted to give you an idea of what's all gonna be in there. So we'll get ready and start cooking it up. Okay, so I've cooked down the carrots, onions, and green pepper here. I'm debating, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and add this to it. The red and green peppers. We'll mix in with a lot of this flavor in here. We're just gonna cook that down a little bit. And then we're gonna get the sausage in here. Let's just cook that down a little bit. Then I'm just gonna combine it in one of these bowls. So this takes a little bit of time because I will admit, usually I'm in a rush to get this cooked and everything, but in order for it to absorb the flavors and cook slowly so it's not just the outside that's being cooked, but also the inside, I think it's very important to be patient, and I don't have that all the time. I'm gonna add a little bit of more salt for the peppers that I just added. I can't wait for this. I loved cooking gumbo. Gumbo was really interesting, and the thickening for gumbo is really like a roux, the flour mixture that was created for that. For jambalaya, it's really the rice cooked in the chicken broth and the juice from the diced up tomatoes. That really helped create the thickening agent for that. So I account for this as being, I don't know, maybe kind of like a soup. Not exactly a soup, but maybe. And the other thing is I'm trying to get back to soup night. We're just going to have to see what COVID does. But if I only have like 8 people here, 10 at the most, just seeing where have you been, what have you been doing, have you been kind of, not quarantined, but limiting your physical contact with people, because we're all missing soup night. So I may make this again for soup night. So this is going to be like a little test for Chris and I. So I think I want to give it a little bit more. I don't know, I had a small onion. I would almost add like a medium onion. This has a little bit more to go, so when this is done, I will be adding the sausage, cooking that up, and then the chicken. And I'm going to saute the shrimp just a little bit, but I think the cod, the bite-sized pieces of cod cut up, will be able to cook in the broth and the juice from the diced tomatoes. So we'll be back. So I think the peppers have sauteed enough, so I'm going to go ahead and add the garlic. Get the garlic flavor in there. This will just take but a few minutes. And how many cloves? I love garlic, so I put like 3 to 4 cloves in here. Just let that saute for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and get my sausage. Okay, we're going to put this all in a bowl. I got 2 bowls here just in case. While the pan is still hot, we're going to add the sausage. Now, I don't know if any of you have made this before. You might have your own version of it. But I think a lot of dishes have their basic ingredients, elements to it. And that's why I like cooking, because you can add your own touch to it. So we're gonna make sure I get all of this out. Almost there. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna add the sausage now. Now when this is done, I'm gonna put it in a new bowl. So we'll just cook this till it's brown. And like I said, because this is ground pork, I'm hoping that I put a lot of the seasoning. I think it's Creole seasonings in it. Like I said, it's got a little cayenne pepper, little paprika, cumin, salt, garlic, pepper, cayenne pepper. I chose not to do smoked in here, but if you want kind of like a little smoky flavor, I love smoked paprika. Anyway, we're gonna let this brown for a little bit. Then we'll be back. Okay, so I've got the sausage all brown. Just gonna turn this down a little bit, put it all in a new bowl. And then I'm gonna cook the chicken. And this doesn't take very long. I mean, you know, medium to high heat, it may take 10 minutes, depending. Get all that sausage in here so we don't turn it to crisp. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna add just a tad more olive oil to this for the chicken. So I'm gonna add the chicken. Add a little bit of salt and pepper to season it just a little bit as it cooks. A little bit of pepper. And for me, don't cook your chicken too fast, because I have found that when you do, you cook the outside and it looks like it's brown, but then the inside isn't cooked. So take your time to cook your chicken. I'll have to get a new spoon. So we'll cook this chicken until it browns, and then we are gonna add the sauteed vegetables again, along with the tomatoes, the broth, and then we'll add the meat. Oh no, wait a minute, forget that. After I do my chicken, in fact, what I forgot to do, I should have done my shrimp. Maybe I'll do my shrimp. Maybe I'll do the shrimp right now, but in a separate pan, because this is raw chicken and, you know, I want it to cook on its own. Here we go. I'm just gonna let this sit here. No, I think I'm okay. Once it's cooked, it's not raw anymore, so it'll all be good. So once this is done, I'm gonna add my shrimp. I think I'm gonna add a little the Creole spice, Cajun spice, Creole spice to it, but that's got oregano, basil, garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper, cayenne pepper, just a hint of smoked paprika. If you want a little bit more, I would add a little bit more smoked paprika. I think that's it. But anyway, like I said, I'll have it on the recipe. So check it out at amyroloffslittlekitchen.com. We'll be back when this is done. Okay, my chicken is done, so I'm going to transfer this to a bowl, turn off the heat, because I think the pot will be hot enough for when I cook the shrimp. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook my shrimp. Anyway, shrimp is really easy. I like getting shrimp like this, because all you have to do is just gently pull off the tail and then just peel this off. And this is like real fresh shrimp. I like it that way. I don't mind having to peel it off. I don't know, for some reason I just think it's better. I think you get more of the shrimp that way. So I'm just gonna do these last 4. for 5. Got a little bowl over here. Then we're gonna put the rest of the shrimp into here. A little bit of salt. A bit of pepper. And like I said, I think I might add, yeah, look at that. They're already cooking. Just very lightly. Just enough to get them a little pink. And then I'm just gonna add just a little bit of the spices here. I think that's enough. We'll put that there. Flip them over. And I think we're done. Shrimp, I tell you, shrimp only takes like 2 minutes. It's really quick. I love shrimp. If you want a quick meal, shrimp and pasta with some peas, just a really light, very light cream sauce to it. I just think it's perfect. Or a little asparagus, or spinach, or even kale added to the pasta. Okay, we're done. Told you it was easy as that, right? Okay, let me get another bowl for this. Okay, we're gonna put the shrimp in here. A lot of the prep for this dish is really cutting everything up. So, where are my veggies? Here are my veggies. Make sure I get all this goodness out. I'm gonna put that back in the in the heated pan. Put that aside. There we go. And then, oh, let me go get the broth. Okay, so I got my veggies here. Just reheat it a little bit. I'm gonna add about 3 cups of chicken broth. Put that over there. Then give this a little stir. I'm gonna add my 1 can of fire roasted, I use fire roasted tomatoes, but 1 can of diced tomatoes with their juice. I have another one over here because I don't know, I may add another one. Then we're gonna add the chicken. Get all those juices in there too. We're gonna add the ground pork or ground sausage. Or like I said, if you use kielbasa, that's good too. I'm gonna wait for my shrimp till after the rice is cooked. Let me go get the rice. Then we're gonna add about 1.5 cups of rice in there. Turn my heat up a little bit because we're gonna get this to a boil and then turn it down. And the rice will be kind of your thickening agent because it will absorb some of this liquid. Oh my gosh. And in this, oops, I forgot. I'm gonna add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce? I don't even know how to pronounce that. Worcestershire sauce. Worcester sauce. I don't know. I don't know, about a teaspoon or so. I am going to go ahead and add just a little bit more of the seasonings. About a teaspoon. Because you really want this to have flavor to it. And then what we're going to do before we add in the fish I'll show you the fish because I cut it up. I cut up chunks of cod. So once the rice has absorbed some of the liquid, because this will cook really fast within this whole pot of goodness. So we'll just add that. The shrimp is pretty much like 90% cooked. We'll add that. That'll absorb some of the flavors too, and we'll kind of have our own little jambalaya. I kind of like that word, jambalaya. I'm gonna have to look that up to see what actually jambalaya means. Is it just the food, how it's cooked, or does it have any other meaning to it? So here we go. I'm gonna do something a little different with this as well. I had leftover corn on the cob. It's been a few days since it was in my fridge, so I went ahead and boiled it. I'm going to cut it off the cob. I'm gonna add it to here. This isn't really what typically a jambalaya would do, but I'm gonna do it because I had it, I'm cooking it, and I'm gonna add it to here. So that's about it. I'm gonna put a lid on this, and this will cook probably about 20 to 25 minutes until the rice is tender and has absorbed some of the liquid. So maybe I should have a little taste. See if I need any more seasonings to it. I think it's a good thing. That's why I have a lot more extra forks and spoons so I can taste as I cook. I think it's very important when you're gonna make a meal, taste as you go along, and definitely taste before you finish it to see if you need any more herbs or seasonings or salt or something like that. Oh, I think it definitely is spicy. But you know what I think it may need? Just a little hint more of salt. I'm not a fan of using a lot of salt, but salt does bring out flavor. Oh, definitely think that's got a little spice. Okay, there we go. Let's just let this sit, let the rice cook. I'll put a lid on it, and then I'll be back. Okay, well, it takes about 20 to 25 minutes to cook the rice, and look at this. I have made a lot. I might have to give some of this to Jeremy and Audrey, maybe. Anyway, the rice is done. I'm gonna go ahead and add the shrimp. Yes, my pot is overflowing, but I am going to hope that it doesn't overflow too much. Drain some of the water from the cod. I know that will add a lot of flavor, but I don't think I need a lot more liquid. There we go. I'm gonna get another spoon. And there we go. We just kind of push that down. And it will cook. So I would cook the fish and the shrimp for about, it's not gonna take long, maybe 10 minutes or so. So once I finish immersing all of that in there, we're gonna have some good jambalaya. There you go. And then remember when I said I had a few ears of corn? I'm gonna add a little bit of the corn to it. Typically this is not part of making this dish, but I had a few extras, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add them. Now cook down further. And so yeah, you'll have a little corn with it. Then I'm gonna top this off with fresh parsley, add a little green to it. So let's have this set for about another 10 minutes. Okay, the jambalaya is all done, and I cannot wait to taste it. Let me bring you in a little bit closer. Whoops, hang on here. Let me get the spoon. I don't know, I think it looks great. Look at that. The shrimp and the fish and the chicken and the spiced sausage mixed in. I think it looks great. I cannot wait for Chris and I. Well, I cannot wait. I can't wait to share it with Chris. Anyway, this is jambalaya, my version of it. I hope you enjoy it and I hope you make it for yourself. Obviously, I have overstuffed this pot. This will definitely feed 4 to 6 people. So just modify the ingredients to less if you're serving for less people, maybe 2 to 3, or if you want a little bit more, I would definitely get a much bigger pot, like a stock pot or something like that. You don't have to add the corn. If you like it less spicy, don't add as much spice. If you want a little bit more tomato, I would add the 2 cans of diced tomato in their juice, but maybe a small can of tomato sauce to it, just to incorporate some of those flavors. So I'm gonna top this off with parsley. So I have a little fresh parsley from my garden, and when I serve it up, I will put a little fresh parsley on it. So jambalaya, shrimp, I've got cod, I've got chicken, I've got sausage, I've got rice, chicken broth, diced tomatoes, lots of seasonings. Either buy a very good Creole or Cajun spice at your grocery store or make your own. I will include that in with this recipe. A little bit of salt and pepper. I added a little more oregano and thyme to this. If you wanted a little bit more spicy, I would definitely add a little more red pepper flakes. And if you want to create that little spark to this, I would just add maybe, I'm gonna say a tablespoon, but that may be too much. How about a teaspoon of lemon zest and about a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice? That'll kind of really give it that spark. But this is my version of jambalaya. Oh, I guess I'm still going. I didn't realize I was still going. And then this is my version of jambalaya. Okay, Amy Roloff's little kitchen, and Chris has been waiting so patiently.
It's 8 o'clock.
But when I do a video, when I do these cooking episodes, it does take, or seems to take, much longer than I would like. But this is my version of jambalaya. I hope he enjoys it. But I would serve it with a very good crusty bread and maybe a green salad, but I think on its own is really good too, so.
Well, it smells delicious and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, good. And I added a little more spice because I know Chris likes a little more
I do,
spice.
I like a little heat, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I dig in?
Yes, you may.
Good.
Enjoy, and like I said, all recipes, follow the recipes, have fun with the videos, but go to amyroloffslittlekitchen.com and you'll find this recipe along with some others that I've done. So let me know what you think. Take care and enjoy.
Very good.
Oh, good. We're making just a very classic cheesecake, or I should say I'm making a very classic cheesecake for Easter dinner for Chris and I. Hey, hi everyone. I'm Amy Roloff and Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. I've got my glasses on because what I'm going to do and make right now for Easter dessert is a cheesecake. And so this is my recipe because sometimes I don't have all of this stuff memorized. I can wing it on a lot of stuff, but when it comes to baking and desserts, I kind of just need a recipe just to guide me. So this is my recipe for just a very classic cheesecake. I know that cheesecakes, different variations, people add their own little touch depending on what kind of cheesecake you make, but I just wanted to make a very classic cheesecake for Easter dessert. And I often made cheesecake for my family when, with Matt and the kids for Easter and everything. And so I kind of wanted to stick with those traditions, even though I'm not going to be with my kids or my grandkids, which, you know, does make me sad not to celebrate this wonderful, you know, Easter celebration with them. But that's going to be okay because we're going to be together soon. So I'll just have fun in the kitchen, and I'll have fun making an Easter dinner celebration for Chris and I. So anyway, let's get going with the cheesecake. First of all, I'm going to get my spring foam pan. I greased that a little bit so more of my crust base will stick on the cheesecake and not on the pan. I just lightly dusted it with flour. I don't think you really need to do that, but lightly grease your spring foam pan. I think that works well. The other thing is, I've got the crust here. I've got 3 eggs and 2 egg yolks. I use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. I think it gives a little more richer, smoother, kind of builds up that cheesecake a little bit more instead of sour cream. And then I use 3 8-ounce of cream cheese. Got a little vanilla here. I've got my butter to kind of create my crust. I've got about 1 1/4, if you want, maybe 1 1/2 cups of sugar, and a little bit of salt and vanilla. So it's really a basic cheesecake, but I'll kind of go through all of this when we get started. What I used as a crust over the years instead of graham cracker crumbs is that I really like a shortbread cookie crumb for my cheesecake. I think it's a little mellower. It's not as dominant or prominent, you know, to me. And I just really like shortbread cookie. The other thing I've tried too is use shortbread cookie and half graham crackers for your crust. But you know, you can use whatever you want for your crust. But right here is about 2 boxes of shortbread cookies, plain shortbread cookies, grind up. So anyway, let's get started. So I got that going on here. We'll get our crust going. I've got the melted butter. It's about anywhere from 6 to 8 tablespoons. You don't want your crust too wet because then it never gets kind of like crunchy. So I'm just gonna mix that in a little bit. Get that all incorporated before I press it into the spring foam pan. I don't know, cheesecake, I always make this during Easter. And this is a typical dessert that I've made for my kids and family and Matt and I over the years. And I wanted to carry on that tradition and, you know, with Chris and I and start a new one for me. So we're gonna have cheesecake for dessert. And Chris likes cheesecake too. He really loves cherries, and I was gonna make a cherry topping, but because it's Easter and spring, I am going to make a strawberry rhubarb sauce to go over it. And I'll tell you a little bit about that a little bit later, but my sauce isn't gonna be like sauce. I really want the taste of some of those fresh strawberries and everything. Okay, I've got this mixed in pretty well. Let's see here. Let me get my spring foam pan. So, you know, your butter, you know, just makes it a little wet so you can press it down. We'll do that. Okay, oops. Get my glasses over on my recipe here. Okay, get my sleeves up. Even though I have a lower kitchen island, everything, you know, compared to you, to me, is like right here, but that's okay. I don't let that stop me. Boy, if I let that stop me, I would never do what I love to do. So I'm gonna press that in really good. And if, you know, if the crust goes up the sides, that's good too. In fact, that's a very good thing. So you just gotta try and make sure it's evened out. And so you don't have a higher and crust on one part of the spring foam pan and lower on the rest. So let's see here. Do I got that good? Have I done that well, I should say? I think so. So, it's all pressed down. It's all going to be all ready to go here in a few minutes. So, let me get on my glasses. I'm going to bring this little stool that I have over here a little bit. Let's see here. I thought I had this all memorized, but I don't. Okay, let's add in our cream cheese. So like I said, the crust is about two boxes of shortbread cookies. This is 3 8-ounce things of cream cheese. So let's get that in there. Hang on. Whoa. And it's softened. You want it softened. It's very hard to make cheesecake if you got very cold cream cheese. So kind of just get it at room temperature. And your eggs should be at room temperature too, because one thing I found out with cookies and everything, man, if you've got soft butter but your eggs are cold, it does not work very well. It does not mix and get all incorporated. I like to get everything off of here. So I'm gonna go here. Here, there we go. That's done with that. I'm gonna turn this on a little bit. Get that going, and then I'm gonna add in, like I said, I use Greek yogurt. You can still use sour cream, but this is 1.25 cups of Greek yogurt. I'm just gonna drain off the little water part of it. And another way that you can do this too is use a very fine mesh strainer if you wanna drain some of the water off of it. So there's about 1.25 cups of Greek yogurt. Gonna add that in there. Get that all mixed in. I think I should have used my Pro mixer. Would have had a little bigger bowl. Okay, we got that going. Let's see, what incorporate next? Oh, sugar and vanilla. Oh, the good stuff. So basically what this is an egg cheese custard. So I'm gonna add my sugar. This is about a 1.25 cups. You can go 1.5 cups because of the Greek yogurt adding a little tartness to it. So, but I only have about 1.25 cups of sugar here. So we're gonna get that incorporated in there. There we go. Get that going. Then we're gonna add a little bit of vanilla, and what do I have in my thing? It's about 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Yes, that's right. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So here, I'm just gonna wing it. Here we go. Boop, boop. There we go, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. We'll get that all mixed in. I wanna make sure that things get down from the sides, because I hate it when sometimes the mixer, you know, doesn't quite get everything, or the cream cheese gets stuck on the blade and everything doesn't get mixed in well. But I think this is good. So we're just gonna scrape off this. Okay. There we go. We'll mix that in a little bit so it's nice and light and smooth before we add in our eggs. Okay, after the eggs, we'll do the flour. I mean, cheesecakes is not that hard, I don't think. I think that's about good. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit because I don't want to overbeat the eggs. So what I have here is 3 whole eggs and 2 egg yolks. So we're gonna, and what you can do with your egg whites is, you know, if you make scrambled eggs or any other baking that just calls for egg whites, you know, add it into that. add that in, get that mixed in. And I've got 2 more here. Get that incorporated. You really want to make sure the eggs are incorporated because, you know, cheesecake is like a custard. So here we go. Okay, how are we doing here? I'm just gonna make sure the sides are all down. It's getting all mixed in. The last thing you want is any lumps or anything inside your cheesecake because the cream cheese didn't get all blended. Okay, there we go. A little bit more. I'm so excited. I get so excited cooking for other people. Being in a new neighborhood, I really don't know too many people that are having a hard time, you know, either being alone or needing a meal to be brought over, any of that stuff. So I get really excited cooking for friends and family. And so this Easter, I'm excited to cook for Chris. But my typical Easter dinner, hang on, I'll wait till the mixer's done. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of flour now. There we go. And flour is only about 1/4 cup. Just enough to give it some structure. Okay, is that going good? Definitely want to make sure it's all incorporated so you have this nice, smooth, silky, light cheesecake. All right. Then we're gonna okay, when you put this in the oven, I have it started for about 15 minutes at 425. After 15 minutes, you want to bring your oven back down to 325. Is that right? I want to tell you the right things. It definitely, yeah, 325. And you cook it at 425, preheated oven at 425 for 15 minutes. Reduce your heat to 325 and continue cooking for about 1 hour until it is set and ready to go. And I'm going to show you the water bath, kind of putting it in a water bath thing, because that will prevent cracks in your cheesecake. Okay, are we good here? We are. So let me get this out here. And then I have a 1/2 cup of heavy cream, and we're just gonna gently pour this in, and we're gonna just kind of fold it in there. So that's the cream, that's the cheesecake batter. So this is about 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. So I'm just gonna fold that in, go from the bottom and come up from the top. Oh, this will create another richness. Just want to make sure it's all in there. I like making sure the batter gets all together and in with the rest, and you don't have a lot sticking on your bowl. Because why leave half of it behind? One of these days I'm gonna have to get glasses. Anyway, I think that's done. I'm gonna scrape off my spoon. Move this over, maybe have a sip of coffee, keep me going. I got my little Michigan mug here. Ooh, I think of my dad when I have anything Michigan. So then I'm going to pour my batter in. Go slowly so it gets evened. You got that? Oh man. Oh, you know what I forgot to tell you guys? I thought about it and I forgot to do it. What I'm going to do with the spring foam pan is I'm gonna wrap the bottom and up the sides with foil. Because when you put it in a water bath, you don't want the water seeping into your cheesecake. I'm just gonna kind of just make sure it's all leveled and the air bubbles are out. Let me move this stuff here. Move all my other stuff, so I'm gonna get foil. I'm gonna have to double the foil a little bit because obviously it's not wide enough. Here, let's scoop back my mixer a little bit. This is when you really want a sous chef. Kind of help me clean off stuff. So we're gonna kind of double this up a little bit. I think that'll be good. In fact, I'm gonna do one more. I did 2 long ways and I'm gonna do 1 this way. I don't know why, I just feel like it. There we go. Okay. Place this here and make sure then you just fold it so you know the cheesecake cooks, because you don't want your foil covering over the top of your cheesecake. Let me fold this up a little bit. Like I said, this will help seal the spring foam pan. Make sure it's kind of as tight as possible around it, so you don't want any water leaking into it. So I'm just kind of tightening it up around here, folding it where I need to. So it's very tight. Let's go. Okay, I think that's about it. Okay. I am going to go get a shallow baking dish and fill it up with water so that I can show you what I mean by that. Okay, I'm back in Amy Roloff and Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, and I've mixed up the cheesecake. Let me bring it over here. It's already set in the spring foam pan. It's wrapped in foil, and I'm getting ready to put it in a water bath type of thing. And the reason I do that, or what I have found and have read online and tried different things from other people, this really helps to create that moisture in the oven, and so your cheesecake doesn't crack, have, you know, those lines in it. So I'm really hoping that's what'll happen here. So I wrapped it all in foil. I'm gonna put it in here. I might have to find a bigger baking sheet, but I didn't bring that over from the farm. So I'm just gonna kind of pour in some water so it covers the bottom of the baking sheet and just comes up slightly on the sides. So I would have to say probably at least about 4 cups or more. So I'm gonna have it at 425, cook the cheesecake for about 15 minutes to get it set. And then it's gonna, I'm gonna reduce the heat to 325 and cook the cheesecake for another hour. So I hope to show you very good results when I get back. So when the cheesecake is done and cooling, you know, out on the counter or over the stove here, I am going to make the strawberry rhubarb sauce, and I'll come back and show you that. So anyway, we're making just a very classic cheesecake, or I should say I'm making a very classic cheesecake for Easter dinner for Chris and I. So anyway, I'll be back and see you guys in about an hour and a half. Okay, thanks. Hey, hi everyone. So it's been Amy Roloff and Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. And it's been an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm gonna take the cheesecake out and hopefully I don't have any cracks in it. Right now I am making a rhubarb strawberry kind of sauce for the cheesecake. And there it is right there. There's the rhubarb cooking. So I have about 2 large stalks of rhubarb with about a 1/3 cup of sugar and about a 1/3 cup of water in this, just so it cooks the rhubarb down a little bit till it's soft. I didn't really want it to be mushy, and I have a little bit of lemon zest and maybe about a teaspoon of lemon juice. And so about, I don't know, 2 teaspoons of lemon zest and about a teaspoon of lemon juice. And so again, about a 1/3 cup of water, a 1/3 cup of sugar, and I'm kind of cooking down the rhubarb a little bit. And I've got my strawberries all cut up here. So I kind of wanted it not to be like a sauce, but you know, little chunks of the rhubarb, but they're not too tart. And definitely you can see the strawberries, and it's not like a jam. So anyway, let's get the cheesecake out because it's done. Whoa. Can't let the oven door slam or it might crack the cheesecake. I'm gonna try and not spill, the hot water. Here we go. All right, I've got the oven turned off. I'm gonna, let me show you guys. I get so excited when the cheesecake turns out. See, look at that. No cracks, and it's gonna be really, really good. So I'm gonna lift this out of the hot water bath and kind of let it cool. It probably needs to cool for at least an hour or more, and then you can take the rim off of it and then put it on a nice platter and then let it cool again before you put it in the fridge. Because you don't want to put, in my opinion, you don't want to put a, like hot or warm cheesecake in the oven. So let me lift this out. Get my other hot pad here. And I'm gonna put it right next to where I'm cooking here. So it's got time to, really what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift this out. Whoa. Hopefully my water didn't spill. Then I'm gonna dump the water that's left in the baking pan. And then let the cheesecake cool here. I'm gonna slowly lift the foil out. Lord willing. Looks like some of my, never had that happen before. Looks like I got a little bit of butter that leaked out. Hopefully my crust is okay and not too soggy. Okay, so I'm gonna finish making the sauce. I'm gonna add my strawberries in here. Then if you want to add a little more sugar, because if you think it's too tart, feel free to go ahead and do that. So I still have chunks of rhubarb in here, but that's okay because now I've got a lot of fresh strawberries that will keep their shape too, and I think that'll look very nice over the cheesecake once it cools down. So I'm going to turn my heat off and just kind of let this warm up a little bit. So I'll be back. Thanks. We got it all cooking there.
Okay, and I'll see you back when I plate it. Hi everyone, Amy Roloff in Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. So my classic cheesecake is done. I took it out of the oven, let it sit and cool down for about 30 minutes. I used a knife to loosen it up around the ring of my spring foam pan, and so that I was able to take that out. So it's still sitting on the bottom of the spring foam pan, but I did put it on this nice little kind of cake stand, pie stand, whatever you want to call it. One of the things I really love about this classic cheesecake is that I use yogurt instead of Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. So anyway, I'm going to share a little bit of it with Chris because he loves cheesecake, and I'm so happy about that. And then I'm going to give a little quarter of it to Zach and Tori, Jared and Jacob and Isabel because I want to share it. Anyway, so I'm ready for a piece. You can drizzle, chocolate over this, or a nice caramel, or a blueberry sauce. I don't have a spoon. I happen to make a strawberry rhubarb. Strawberries are just starting to, well, kind of, just starting to come in now, and so I made a strawberry rhubarb sauce. So, little piece here. Oh, looks so delicious. I can't wait to bite into it. And then I'll just put a little bit of that on with a cup of coffee. Oh, yummy. Well, I hope you have a chance to make it, and let me know what you think. And you'll find this recipe for the classic cheesecake and additional recipes at amyroloffslittlekitchen.com. So I hope you enjoy it, and let me know what you think. Okay, well, I hope this is going to be a worthy coconut cream pie for my good friend's 60th birthday. And hopefully everyone will like it, including Chris, because I heard from him this is one of his favorite pies, so I'll probably be making it again. It's Amy Roloff, and I'm in my little kitchen. You know what? I am so excited to be in my kitchen all the time. And I'm not saying that all of my food comes out to be this wonderful, terrific meal, because sometimes I have to do it over again. But I don't know, I just really find my kitchen to be my happy place. And it is in the evening time. And tomorrow, Chris and I are going to go over to a friend's house, and we're going to celebrate another friend's 60th birthday. So that's a big thing. At my age, being 60 and turning 60, not that I'm 60 yet, that's kind of a big thing. So I was told that one of her favorite desserts was a chocolate banana cream pie or a coconut cream pie. And because Chris is a little particular on his chocolate, but he also likes coconut cream pie, so that's what I'm going to make. We are going to make coconut cream pie. I'm very excited about this because you and we're going to be doing this together. I looked up a bunch of recipes online, and like I always do, I kind of have an idea of what to do. But sometimes I look for other flavorings, or, what do other people do? And I was really wanting a coconut cream pie that spoke of coconut. Not just like a, vanilla pudding and you just put coconut in it. Oops. So I wanted something that also used coconut milk. Coconut is a little thicker. It's not coconut milk that's in the refrigerator. It's where you would find, like, maybe if you're making Thai food or just basic coconut milk. In fact, hang on. So I did have canned coconut milk, but it was, it was fat-free. And to me, if you're gonna make a dessert, make a dessert. Unless
all of your ingredients are along the lines of sugar-free or gluten-free, or not using sugar, but you're replacing sugar maybe with applesauce, a natural sweet thing, but whatever. Anyway, so I found this unsweetened coconut milk because we're already going to put sugar in here. But this was not in the refrigerator section or anything. It was with other different types of coconut milk, but I wanted one that was unsweetened, was just coconut milk. Not all the fat removed, because I really wanted a nice, rich, you know, that diner going back in time kind of coconut cream pie. So anyway, I guess I should stop talking, huh? I have a tendency to do that too much. I talk too much. So Chris is over there enjoying a favorite television show or whatever, and I am going to make a pie crust. Now, you can go and buy a pre-baked pie crust or ready-made pie crust, whatever you do. I don't know. To me, I always make a homemade pie crust. So instead of using 3 cups of flour, I'm using 1.5, because this pie dish seems to be a little bit deeper than I remember. Anyway, I'm going to use 1.5 cups of flour. I'll put in a little bit of salt. I will use about 6 tablespoons of butter with an additional 2 tablespoons of, I'm going to call it Crisco butter. And yeah, and then very cold water. Use very cold water. And this is very cold butter. I just got it out. So we'll get going. Oh, I got to go get an apron on. Okay, I'm just going to stir this around a little bit. I got some salt. I try and use unsalted butter, but if I don't, then don't add salt to your flour, because I think there'll be enough salt in the butter. So like I said, I have about 6 tablespoons of butter, and then I kind of use the Crisco butter shortening. And you can, I'm using a pastry cutter, but you can also use a food processor to get your butter all kind of into these little bitty little crumbs into the flour. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because of the hassle of getting out my food processor. It's in my pantry. I gotta climb up on a ladder because it's on like the 3rd shelf. And let's put it this way, I should probably really clean out my pantry and kind of straighten it up and organize it again. You know, it's like cleaning out your closet. You know, go in your pantry and see what you got in there. See what's kind of behind the one can that's behind the other can that's behind the other carton, and you know, maybe you've got some outdated stuff. So I think I have to do a spring cleaning in my pantry. Chris and I might have a garage sale this summer. You know, we brought stuff over to the house that we may not need, but so I don't know. I've never really had a garage sale before. A lot of people still like to go to them. So we might give it a try. So I'm just gonna keep cutting in the butter into the flour till I think it comes together, or it's little crumbs, and see if I need any more. So it's about a cup and a half of flour, 1.5 cups of flour, about 6 tablespoons of butter, and about 2 tablespoons of, I use butter shortening, Crisco like. I don't know, I think it kind of, I kind of got that idea from Ina Garten, which I absolutely love. I love her style of cooking. It's so good. Anyway, and it's true. Adding in a little bit of shortening, I think, makes kind of like a lighter, flakier crust. But I also like the richness and the flavor of butter. So, what are some of your favorite people that you like to follow on the cooking? I follow a lot of people because I love getting ideas and other things like that. And usually they know a little bit more than I do. I go by experience and trying and testing and do-overs. I don't know, I think this is pretty good. It's pretty flaky. I think I'm gonna add in one other little, this is a big piece. I'm gonna add in just a little bit more of shortening before I add in the butter. Or I mean the water, the very cold water. And water you really gotta play around with. It's gotta be cold, because you want the flour to come together. You don't want it to kind of melt into warm water or have the butter shortening melt because it's warm. You definitely want cold water. Okay, so I think I just made a to-do list for myself. I have to clean out my pantry, and we may be having a garage sale, so that means I better start cleaning out my closets and other things in the house, and maybe looking through some boxes that I haven't quite unpacked yet. So do I really need it? So I think I just added on 2 more projects to my list. It's spring, people. It is spring. Okay, let me get some cold water and we'll go on to the next process.
Hi, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you are enjoying it, and I would really appreciate it if you liked it and subscribed to it. And oh, don't forget to click that little bell up there, and you'll be notified of future videos that are new and coming on my YouTube channel. So thank you so much for that. And I would really appreciate it if you shared the video and let other people know, and encourage them to subscribe and like the videos as well. So anyway, thank you, and back to the video.
Okay, so I'm gonna add in some cold butter. I'm gonna start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 little tablespoons of butter. See what that does for me. I think I might need at least 2, maybe 3 more. 5, and then this will make 6, 7, 8. I think that'll be enough. So I would say anywhere between 6 and 8 tablespoons of cold, very cold butter, cold water. I'm gonna see if this comes together. And if you find it a little sticky, just make sure you got some flour on hand. Rub your hands a little bit, and that way your hands won't get sticky. Oh yeah, this is coming together very nicely. Okay, it stuck to my hand a little bit. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator for maybe about 30 minutes, just to have it cool down a little bit, get that butter a little bit solids in there, so when you roll it out into the pie, the butter doesn't melt, but you have these little itty bitty chunks of butter floating around, and I think that's what really makes a good pie crust. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do. Get some wrap here. And while this is in the refrigerator, I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of the ingredients out. I know, you're probably asking me, will it take her 30 minutes? Well, probably, because I may wanna clean this up a little bit. So anyway, one pie crust dough is gonna go in the refrigerator, and I'll get the rest of the ingredients out for coconut cream pie. Woohoo! Okay, I just got my pie crust out of the refrigerator. So it's a little bit cool, which is cold, which is good, because that means the butter, little, specks of butter will, in fact, let me take off my glasses. I was reading my directions. Anyway, so the flecks of butter will filter throughout the whole pie and help make it a crispy pie. So I'm gonna roll this out. I'm hoping that I've got enough dough. I mean, I think I use about 3 cups for, a double pie. But I have a feeling this pie pan that I have, it's new, it's kind of new. And it it might be a little deeper than I had anticipated. I just want to make sure this doesn't stick to the butter or to the floured counter. Okay, there we go. Okay, I've got all this stuff over here because I pre-measured everything. Okay. Move this stuff over here a little bit. Give me some room with this rolling pin. Okay. Now what we're going to do with this, we're going to blind bake it. And I never know how long to blind bake it for, but blind baking is all about pre-baking your pie crust before you fill it. And it is true. The butter particles that are in it that, you know, you need for the pie crust, if you don't weight it down, then it kind of shrinks the pie. And instead of having the crust over to the top of the edge or over the edge of the pie pan, your pie dish, then it starts shrinking and then you have like 3/4 of a pie instead of, okay, I think this is big enough. Yeah. So let me see. Oh yeah, this is plenty big. But see, I'll use all of this for the crust. Let me just cut this a little bit with some of these frayed edges so that it doesn't all crumble on me. But I'm going to use all this extra pie dough, if I need it, to kind of fix some of the little edges or the bottom of the pie. But this will give me a cleaner thing. Okay, that's it. I hope I just didn't make it too small. Okay, let's get all that over here. Okay, here we go. Can I do it? Will it roll up here? Come on. Don't fall apart on me now. All right. Kind of did it. Now I gotta help it sink in here. And see this little edge here? It's kind of not. Then you just kind of want to mold it together. And if you got too big of edges, just trim them a little bit. Well, I don't know where my scissors are right now, so just gonna kind of pull it apart. But be gentle as you pull it apart because you don't want to stretch it too much. So I'm gonna take some of this extra pie crust here, roll it out, and kind of patch it up here and make this part of the crust. There we go. It's a lot of, well, sometimes I make it big enough, sometimes I don't. I probably didn't need to trim the edges here so they're not so rough. But I did, but it can be fixed. Okay. Okay, do I have enough on the bottom? I think I do. Okay. Usually, I remember making pie crust growing up with the kids. And if I had any extra, I would twist the leftover, you know, roll it out into long, thin, like a rope, thin strips. And I would kind of twist it and roll it in cinnamon sugar and then bake it. So now I am going to try and make, I'm just going to fold this over a little bit. And then I'll try and make kind of a nice edge. My pie crusts tend to be what I would call rustic. They're not so perfect or clean, but they're edible. Okay, there we go. So the pie looks like that. Now I'm gonna make my little dentations, or however you do it. I don't know, does that look kind of curvy, huh? So I'm gonna get some parchment paper. We're gonna put some weights on here. I've preheated my oven to 400 degrees, 375, 400. You'll wanna pre-bake your pie crust for about, I don't know, until the edges turn brown. I would say until maybe 12 to 15 minutes. And then you want to lift up your weight, prick your pie crust. That way the steam lets out and it doesn't puff up the bottom, but it turns the bottom brown too. And then you know, I like doing this because to me it makes it easier to work with the parchment paper. I want to make sure the parchment paper reaches all the edges. In fact, let me trim this a little bit. I know, I hope this video isn't going to be long and tedious. The reason I'm trimming it because I got too big of a piece and I want the rim, you know, around the rim of the pie crust to bake and not be covered by the parchment. There we go. Okay. Oh dear, I forgot the weights. Let me go get them. Well, for the life of me, I cannot find my pie weights. So, when all else fails, go with plan B. I am going to use some beans, dried beans. They're gonna kind of be my weights. I think that should be enough. It's kind of one whole bag of beans. Okay, wish me luck. 400 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes until you see the edge of your pie crust turn brown. I'm going to turn on my handy dandy timer. I'm going to put it about 12 minutes just to check up on it. I'm going to clean up this mess a little bit because what we're really going to do next is basically make a custard. Kind of make like a vanilla custard. And then I'm going to add the coconut, sweetened coconut, flake coconut into it. And that'll be our custard. So tomorrow will be the whipped cream, dressing it up, toasting the coconut just a little bit. So this is really the prep work in making kind of a custard-like pie so that it has a chance to set and after you cook it, chill, set, and hold up after you cook it. So anyway, we'll be back. Okay, we're back. The pie crust is still in the oven. I have not taken it out yet. It probably has about another 5 minutes, but I'm gonna go ahead and continue on with this loveliness. So I have 4 egg yolks in here. I am going to whisk. I think this is a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Now the egg and the cornstarch is gonna kind of help our custard and pudding kind of stay together. And this will be a little thick. But this will all loosen up when we put the hot, warm mixture of the coconut milk and the half and half and the sugar. And that'll sweeten this up and kind of, but we wanted to get this going. So really what we're gonna do is temper the eggs. Once this gets all hot and boiling, we're gonna temper the eggs and then add this egg mixture into what we're cooking up on the stove top. So I think that is about it. Might have needed to add a little bit of salt here, which, you know what, I think I'm gonna add it into that. You do need salt, but I don't want to add it into the egg mixture. Okay, we're gonna get this going on the stove. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add in the half and half. I can't remember how much it is. Might be 1.5 or 1 1/4 cups. Coconut milk, the same. And I really wanted coconut milk because some of the recipes I looked at didn't add it. And I thought, well, this is coconut cream pie. I want enough coconut flavor and coconut taste with real coconut, and but not overdoing it either. And then I have about 1/2 cup of sugar. I'm gonna get my whisk. Whisk this all together. And what you want to do is bring this to kind of like a slow boil. Get the sugar dissolved. So basically, it just looks like white milk. This will probably take about a minute or two, but you definitely don't want to, you know, scald the milk, the half and half, and the, and one of the reasons I found out that you don't use full-fledged whipping cream, because that might be a little bit too thick, so the half and half kind of combines milk and cream. Just milk, your custard may be a little thin and runny, but whipping cream, it may be a little too thick and like you really got to cut through it. Okay, this is almost done. Sometimes when you keep whisking it, you can't see if it's boiling. I got a little bit more ways to go. And this might thicken up a little bit. Okay, once it starts boiling, we'll be ready to go again. So we'll just keep whisking it. Because like I said, I don't want to scald the milk. So it'll probably take about a minute more. Okay, so I think my pie crust edges are cooked enough, little brown. So I am going to take out all of what I use for the weights. And so that you don't want the bottom of your pie crust to puff up, I'm just going to prick it a little bit. That way the steam will be able to escape, I hope. And so this is kind of like a wet bottom. And so when you add the pudding kind of mixture, it'll just really make this kind of mushy. So we're just going to prick it a little bit, and then I'm going to put this back in the oven for maybe another 10 minutes so the pie crust can get finished cooking. So we're going to wait till this bubbles again. It started bubbling, but the pie crust was done, so I had to turn it down for a minute. So we'll wait till this bubbles up again. I'll get the egg mixture over here. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna temper the egg yolks in the cornstarch so that we don't suddenly have scrambled eggs. Here, maybe I'll do this. Okay. I'm hoping this tastes good. Oh yeah, it's starting to bubble now. I'll bring you guys over. So it's definitely starting to bubble. I hope you guys can see that. Unless I got flour on my phone. Just gonna let this cook for a minute. Then we're gonna bring some of that hot mixture over there, but of course, I'm not gonna be able to hold this and do that too. So, okay, I'm gonna turn this down. I do not want this to boil over. I am going, this is not solid enough for me, so you guys can see. I'm gonna take about a half a cup here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna temper it. I'm slowly gonna add in this eggs while I'm hoping this works. I haven't done this in so long. You gotta constantly be whisking it so it doesn't have a chance to kind of really cook and turn into scrambled eggs. Okay, I got the cup in. Oh, great. I was stirring this with my left hand. So once we've got that all going here, the egg yolk and the cornstarch mixture with 1/2 cup of the coconut milk and sugar mixture. Then we're gonna slowly add this in, and we are making pudding. And once this cooks for a little bit, we're gonna add in some of the flavoring. So hopefully you guys can see this. Let me check it out. Oh yeah. I'm gonna get this plate out of the way. So we're gonna slowly add this in. We're gonna have this cook for a little bit. Here, I'll do it this way. We're gonna because this is my left hand. I'm usually not left-handed. Gonna slowly add in the egg mixture. Oh yeah, I can see it thickening up already. And you know me, there is a lot of good stuff there. I'm gonna keep, just a little bit, but you know me. I like to get all of it. I'm gonna bring you over here, you guys. Oops, where are you? There you are. And look at it, it's definitely thickening up. I'm gonna check on the pie crust because we do want the pie crust to kind of cool down completely before we add this in here. So I'm just gonna add this on low and let me check on the pie crust. Okay, well, we tempered the yolk mixture, the egg yolk mixture with the cornstarch. We tempered that, we added that to the milk mixture, which was coconut milk and half. Now I'm just stirring this up and we're gonna add in a little bit of coconut. But before that, if you would like, I'm just gonna add in just a little bit of vanilla flavoring. Oops, this is vanilla flavoring. I'd say about a teaspoon, no more than that. And then if you want a little bit more of that coconut flavor, we might just add just like a 1/4 teaspoon of coconut flavoring. Then I'm gonna add in about a teaspoon of, a tablespoon of butter. That'll just create more of that richness, that creaminess. Stir that around because this is still very, very hot. My pie crust is cooled. And since this is brand new, I have not used this yet. Oh dear. It's got that plastic wrap around it. Okay, let me get that undone. Okay, I had to use a little bit of scissors to get that undone. I'm just gonna add a couple of drops of coconut flavor. Just a couple of drops, because I don't wanna over coconut. Just a couple, whoops, that's enough. Like I said, it was just very, very little. So about a teaspoon of vanilla, a couple of drops of coconut flavor. Then I'm gonna enhance all of this with, I think this was about a half a cup. Let me look at my directions. See, I have them all typed up. Let's see, how much coconut did I add here? Okay, yes, about 1 cup, not a half a cup. But you know what? If you only wanted a half a cup, this is a little extra to the coconut cream pie. So if you don't want a whole cup, don't add it. I think a half a cup will be just as fine. In fact, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna add just a little bit at a time, see how I feel. Yeah, I think about a cup is good. Okay, so we've got all of our mixture in here. Okay, get all that cleaned up out of the way. I'll get my pie crust over here. See how nice the pie crust I think turned out? Hopefully it turned out pretty good. It'll give that little crunch to this nice creaminess of a coconut cream pie. And then we're gonna add whipped cream topping on it. But once you pour this into the pie crust, this really should go into the refrigerator. I would have to say, well, my directions say 3 hours. I would say it's best to do this the night before so it has time to set and just really solidify a little bit without it being too warm or not cold enough and a little bit of runny or, you know, too loose. So I'm glad I made this overnight. So tomorrow, hopefully this will be a pie for my good friend, Christy. Hopefully this will be a good pie for her. This is gonna be kind of like a birthday pie. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm gonna make sure I get all of this goodness. Whoa. Sorry guys, this pan is heavy. Okay, let me use this spoon here. Because why leave it in the pan when you could have one more luscious, delicious bite? Okay. I know, it may not seem like much, but that's what I do. Okay, coconut cream pie. Yeah, I really just want to recap this video because I'm hoping the person that I have helping me edit these videos will clean it up for me because I feel like the video was a little bit ragged. This was not hard to do. What I would really do is pre-bake, make your pie crust ahead of time. Get that in the oven. Once you're done, you know, blind baking it, taking it out, cooking it again so the bottom gets all nice and hard. Once you get the pie crust done and it has cooled, then I would start on the custard part of it. The custard was really about adding egg yolk to cornstarch, mixing that up. Then you would cook your half and half and the coconut milk and the sugar with a little bit of salt. You would go do that. Once that starts boiling, temper your egg yolks and with maybe, I don't know, half a cup, 3/4 of a cup, temper your egg yolk. meaning add the hot liquid very slowly to the egg yolk, continue to whisk it. Once you have done that, then you can now bring the egg yolk mixture into the milk mixture. Cook that for about, I don't know, till it just comes to a slow little boil, but most importantly, until it thickens up. Once it thickens up, you can pour it in the pie crust. Now we put it in the fridge. So I'm hoping that clarifies the video a little bit. I'm sorry it was a little squirrely, but it is just me doing the video, so I'm doing my best. So anyway, this is coconut cream pie, and it is about 3/4 of a way done. Now I'm gonna put saran wrap over it. And what I would do with that, instead of creating an air pocket over it where moisture can still, condensation can build up and then get water on your pie, make sure you kind of, make sure you kind of give it a little seal. What I mean by that is, make sure this touches the custard a little bit. And now we're gonna put it in the refrigerator. So coconut cream pie, so far so good. So I'm ready to put the coconut cream pie into the fridge. I would consider I'm about 3/4 of the way through, because you need to cool this, refrigerate it for at least about 3 hours, maybe a couple hours at least, so that it has a chance to thicken and kind of all come together. After that, that's when I'll do the whipped cream and I'll toast the coconuts on top. So hopefully it'll look really pretty. Anyway, coconut cream pie. You can find this recipe and all of the other recipes over at amyroloffslittlekitchen.com or on my YouTube channel. I would so love for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. So anyway, thank you. From my kitchen to yours. I'm not quite done yet, but I'll be back. Okay, hi, I'm Amy and I'm back in my little kitchen and I'm finishing up on this coconut cream pie. So it sat in the fridge all night, and today Chris and I are going over to a friend's house and we're gonna celebrate another friend's 60th birthday. So anyway, her favorite is coconut cream pie. I so hope this is good. I so hope she likes it. So I am about to do the whipped cream. I have about 2 cups of heavy whipping cream in here. I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar. And I thought, I don't know, I might add a couple of drops of coconut flavoring. Give it that little extra coconut punch. And once I have the whipped cream done, I am going to toast the coconut, the shredded coconut. I think that'll be a nice little touch to the coconut cream pie. And what else? I don't have a pastry bag. I gotta go out to the store and get a pastry bag. So I'm just gonna put the whipped cream over the pie. Not too heavy, but hopefully it'll be good. Okay, let's get this going. This will probably take about maybe 3 minutes or more. Okay, so I am done making the whipped cream. In fact, I did add a little bit more powdered sugar because I didn't think it was sweet enough. I mean, I love whipped cream and I don't like overly sweet whipped cream, but I just felt like this needed a little bit more. So I think originally I said 2 tablespoons. I probably added 4 more, so probably a total of 6 tablespoons of powdered sugar. I did go ahead and add in a little bit of coconut flavoring, but I also added in a little bit of vanilla as well. So let's dress up the pie. And I went ahead and toasted up, I almost picked up the pan, it's hot. Toasted some coconut flakes. I thought that would be kind of a nice decoration on top of the whipped cream. So, and like I said, I don't have a pastry bag. I gotta go out and get one. one that's kind of like reusable or something. Because the one I had before was, I don't know, too hard. Just kind of want to push it. You don't want to spread it too much because then you might spread the custard. So you just kind of want to spread the whipped cream. I'm going to kind of make it a little decadent. Kind of like whipped. Of course, I probably made more than I needed, but I don't know. Can you always use whipped cream? I think so. Oh yeah, so look at this. I think this will be good. You know, you could even, I mean, I haven't really heard of a lot of people doing it. But meringue, because of all the egg whites that are left over. But I would rather use your egg whites for, you know, use your egg whites, put one whole egg into it, and you got good scrambled eggs, an omelet, or whatever else you may want. Okay, there. I didn't want it too smooth. I wanted a little bit of, I think that's enough. Let me ask Chris. Chris?
What?
You don't want a lot of whipped cream on your coconut cream pie, do you?
I don't know. It's a lot.
Well, what do you like, babe?
I don't know. At least an inch.
I think I better add more whipped cream. Okay. I heard it from the man. I think I better add a little bit more from what I can see. All right, I think that's enough. Well, I'm hoping my good friend Christy will have a wonderful celebration for her 60th birthday, because that's a big milestone. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of toasted coconut on here. Add a little bit of crunch besides the pie crust. Oh my goodness. Of course, did I toast too much coconut? I think I did, but that's okay. Okay, well, I hope this is going to be a worthy coconut cream pie for my good friend's 60th birthday. And hopefully everyone will like it, including Chris, because I heard from him this is one of his favorite pies, so I'll probably be making it again. But you can find this recipe and all of the other recipes over at amyroloffslittlekitchen.com, or you can go to my YouTube channel, watch the video, print out the recipe, whatever you may want to do. So check out Amy Roloff's little recipe book as well. So from my little kitchen to yours, enjoy and have a great day.